In this video, we're gonna discuss the quantity tab and price tab of item registration. So firstly, we're gonna go over the unit conversion ratio field. Unit conversion ratio field is a function you can use if you manage an item by two quantity units. You can register the second quantity unit as the auxiliary quantity and have the program automatically calculate the base quantity per each auxiliary quantity. So for instance, if an item consists of a box that contains 10 individual products, you can set the base quantity as 10 and the auxiliary quantity as 1. And then if you go to the new sales, if you enter the corresponding item and enter 4 in the auxiliary quantity field, the base quantity will be automatically calculated and displayed as 40. And regarding the auxiliary quantity feature, take note for a few things. So firstly, you need to first activate the feature in the user customization at the top, configuration, function setup, inventory tab, base quantity and auxiliary quantity sales and purchases, and then auxiliary quantity management status section. And secondly, you can also edit the display name of the base and auxiliary quantity. So once you edit the setting, the base and auxiliary quantity will be marked as a newly edited name. And lastly, the auxiliary quantity will serve only to help you calculate more easily the base quantity. And inventory quantity will be counted based on only the base quantity. So please remember this. And next is safety stock control field. Safety stock means the minimum quantity that the company must hold. And you can first set the safety stock quantity by each item. And then later when you enter an inventory slip, if the quantity will be lower than the safety stock, you can set to display an alert message each time you enter an inventory slip. You can set the safety stock control standard either by all locations or by individual locations. The path is go to the user customization, configuration, and function setup, inventory tab, click safety stock by location button, and select whether you will control safety stock based on the entire locations or individual locations, and save. And then by each inventory menu, you can set whether to activate the feature for all items and also how to apply safety stock alert, such as whether to just show an alert message or to block saving the slip. And if you go back to the item setup menu, you can set the safety stock control status by each inventory menu. The default option will follow the user customization settings, and the use and do not use options will allow to set differently from the default setting. And once you select the status, you can specify the safety stock quantity in the below field. Next is CS minimum sales order quantity and unit. These fields are related to the minimum item quantity that each CS customer can enter and the unit in which they must order the item. If you want to follow the default settings that are set by each CS group, select default, and if not, you can select the individual settings such as use and do not use. And then you can enter the minimum CS order quantity on the right side. For example, if you want to have CS customers order at least 5 of the item, enter 5 in the field. And also if you want to receive orders only in unit of 5, such as 5, 10, and 15, select use in the CS minimum sales order unit field. Next is inventory adjustment field. This field will allow you to manually adjust the book quantity of each item. So for instance, when you first start using ECOUNT ERP and register an item, if the item's beginning quantity is 10, you can click Adjust button and you can select the date of the corresponding beginning quantity. And if you click the Adjust button at the bottom, you can enter how many quantity were on hand on the corresponding date at each warehouse. And then the corresponding quantity will be applied to the inventory balance report. And next is lead time field. This field refers to the period required to purchase or manufacture the corresponding item. And next, minimum purchase quantity field at the bottom. If the minimum unit that you purchase the item in is rather fixed, you can enter the unit in this field, and later in the purchase plan list, you can apply the minimum purchase quantity unit and calculate the purchase order quantity. For instance, if you need to purchase the item in unit of 50, enter 50 in the field. And if you go to the purchase plan list, if you select a purchase plan and click Adjust Quantity at the bottom, you'll be able to apply the minimum purchase quantity to calculate the optimal purchase order quantity. And next is vendor field. If you always purchase an item from the same vendor, you can set the vendor in this field, and later when you create a purchase plan, you can automatically load the vendor of each item and apply. So for instance, if you set the vendor of this item, milk, as Con Cafe, if you go to Inventory 1, Purchases, New Purchase Plan, you can see here that the program has automatically imported the corresponding vendor information to the input screen. So this is the end of the quantity tab. Next is the price tab. So firstly, purchase price and sale price fields. These fields are the prices that the program will pull by default when entering the item in new sales and new purchases. So if the price you enter is tax included, select tax included. And if you select this option and click save, later when you enter an inventory slip, the program will automatically divide the price into pre-tax and tax and display them. However, it is not a must to check the option here, since each time you enter an inventory slip, you can use a shortcut key to calculate tax from price. So for example, when you enter a new sale, if you enter an item, its price will be loaded, and if this price includes tax, you can click on the price field and press F4 key on your keyboard, and then the price will be automatically divided into pre-tax and tax amount. And it works the same to select the item and click F4 button above. And next, price A to J fields. Price A to J can be useful if each item has a price table of various prices. So if your company has a variety of item prices, such as wholesale price, retail price, and online price, etc., you can enter those prices as price A, price B, price C, etc., and then customize the name of each field. To customize each price name, click Option in the upper right corner, Input Field Setup, click Price tab, enter the name of each price, and save. And then if you click the Price tab again, you can verify the edited names, and then you can enter each price and later use them when entering inventory slips. Also, you can load them in order to adjust the default prices in inventory input screens. For example, in New Sales menu, if you enter an item and select it and click Change Price above, you can select one of the prices you entered and apply. In addition, if you click on the price field and press F6 key on your keyboard, you can verify all the prices registered for the corresponding item.